So as mentioned in the forward movement of table in a grinding system, so it specified its task. So when it completes the forward stroke, it should be ensured a return stroke. So retain movement of the table. When the directional control valve is shifted to the right envelope mode, so oil flows from the pump to the right end of the cylinder and moves from right to left. Oil at left side of the cylinder returns back to the reservoir through the directional control valve and flow control valve. At the end of the return stroke, the pilot limit valve, that is second valve, limit valve 2, is actuated by the ram movement, which in turn activates the directional control valve to shift to its left envelope mode, and the process continues. It may be noted that the flow control valve is placed in a return line to the reservoir in order to attain the same speed of the piston during both sticks. Design of hydraulic circuit for pressing operation or application. So pressing application is simply, so it's like a ram movement. So vertical ram movement. There is a pressing operation here. So here there is three concepts. There is extension, then retraction, that is cylinder locking. So these are the things here considered. So first, extension. When the 4/3 directional control valve is shifted to the left mode, the oil flows from the pump to the blind end of the or blank end of the cylinder. Thus the cylinder extends. When the pressing operation starts, the increased pressure of the oil operates the unloading valve to unload the low pressure pump. That is, only high pressure low flow pump does the pressing operation. Then retraction. When the directional control valve is shifted to the right mode, oil flows to the rod end of the cylinder and retraction starts. The pressure of the oil increases because of the check valve keeps this high pressure oil. The check valve utilized whether the pressure of the oil, whether it is in a specified level or it should be high or it should be low, whatever, it checks. So if we specified a certain amount of pressure limit at the point, so if it should be maintained. That is the role of check valve carried out here. So this is the extension. So whenever it have extension, there should be the retraction. So the retraction, in retraction, when the directional control valve is shifted to the right mode, so oil flows to the rod end of the cylinder and the retraction starts. The pressure of the increased pressure of the oil is increases because of the check valve keeps the high pressure oil. So that's why we use check valves. Due to this, the unloading valve operates and unloads the high pressure pump to the tank. That is, only low pressure high flow pump does the return stroke. So low pressure high flow pump. So low pressure is utilized to carry out the return stroke. That's why we are using low pressure. So high pressure to lift the process, and so to return to its original position we have to use low pressure pumps. Then cylinder locking. When the directional control valve is shifted to the spring centered mode, the pump flows directed to the tank. So it transferred to the tank automatically. So design of hydraulic circuit for forklift. So the forklift is to lift the material to certain, keep it the material in certain height, and it should be carry for certain distance. That's why we use the forklift. So this is the main criterion here. So here also the terms, that is extraction and retraction and cylinder locking, this to be considered. So first, in extraction, pressure on the counterbalance valve has been set slightly above the required system pressure to prevent the load from free falling. Due to this back pressure, the fluid available and the rod side opens the counterbalance valve. Fluid coming out of the cylinder flows directly to the tank through directional control valve. Retraction. Flow in the reverse direction cannot occur without a reverse free flow check valve. When the load is to be raised, the internal check valve permits the flow for the retraction of the cylinder. Cylinder locking. At the center position of DCV, pump is unloaded and the piston is held blocked by the counterbalance valve. If the load is required to be held for a prolonged time, then the pilot operated check valve to be used in addition to the counterbalance